Oh. Red. I'm not even going to show the profit loss on this. It's just like, I'm probably losing money on these bits. Oh my god, I can't get this league right for life of me. Championship one, spring chickens skipping around, it's sunshine, it's happy days over there. This one, it's like hell on earth. I'll tell you what, no, humongous games coming up. Some huge humongous games coming up, and we're starting with one now, Birmingham and Wycombe. I mean, this is the biggest game of the year, isn't it, so far? I feel this is a much bigger game for Wycombe than it is for Birmingham. If Birmingham come out of this unscathed, like, because obviously they've not lost at home all season anyway, they've dropped points 3 times and it was 3 draws. They drew recently against Reading away, but then they bet Leyton Orient comfortably, another good side at home, like literally training routine type stuff. And if Birmingham don't lose this game, it's like, right, that's it. 1 foot back in Championship, happy days. If there's any doubt of them going up anyway, because there's none, is there really? The 9 points in front of Wycombe, we're game in hand. The 12 points in front of third place Wrexham, we're game in hand. If they win this, it is done. They'll be promoted in a few weeks. We're in February. Literally, I'm telling you, by the time they play Barnsley, I think we're their 5th last game. They'll already be have won league by the time we're playing them. I hope they've won league by the time we're playing them. We might get a free ride then. And Wycombe have been dropping a lot of points recently. They've gone very iffy, which ain't helped by Coney being injured. He's just come back now. I think he come off bench against Wigan at home, which they drew. But the recent performances, they lost to Preston in extra time. Oh no, I think it was penalties in Cup or extra time, regardless. But in the last league games, they drew to Northampton, bet Barnsley, drew to Cambridge, drew to Crawley, they bet Bristol Rovers, and then they've drawn to Wycombe. Wigan even. So they're dropping a lot of points fairly regular, and Birmingham are just winning basically every week, apart from the Reading one. Reading have got 2 points from this year, which is really good to be fair. Straight off bat, I'm just going Birmingham. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it's a big game. It's a top 2 clash. It's on at 12:30. Sky will be lapping it up. But Birmingham are just going to win. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's any like underdog tale cooking up here. I think Birmingham will win, and probably quite comfortably, to be honest with you, at home. Yeah, they've got a lot of injuries and a lot of tired legs, you would say. They've played a lot of games really fast. They played midweeker and all, didn't they? But still, there is nothing in me that thinks that Wycombe will get anything here. Don't get me wrong, I don't care. In grand scheme of things, I would rather Wycombe go up top 2 than Wrexham, but I don't think they'll get something. I'm going for a Birmingham win, probably to 0, because Coney's obviously just come back from a fitness issue, so I doubt he'll have full 90 in him. I'll go with Birmingham 2-0. I genuinely think it'll be quite comfy, this. I really do. Especially after that Leyton Orient result where they absolutely battered and basically start to finish and got same result and win 2-0. Next, Wrexham Bolton. Oh my god. Oh, this is on at 12:30. And I quite like that actually. Because the realistic auto chasers now, I'm gonna stick Bolton in there, is Birmingham, Wycombe, Wrexham and Bolton, I would probably say. And yeah, Bolton are miles off at a minute, but I know this league now. Apart from Barnsley, I know this league and I know what these are going to do. Schumacher ain't daft. Wrexham obviously lost midweek, but they rotate the squad massively in that Papa John's thing. You know, they were 2-0 up against Peterborough and ended up losing on penalties, which is funny. Because talking about Wankfest, Sky had lost their mind if it were Birmingham Wrexham in that stupid trophy final. But Wrexham, they're quite dodgy. I don't know what's happened to their home form. It's gone down pan a little bit after not losing at home in like a year and a half. It was League 2 to like Tranmere that they last lost a game at home. To recently, they've lost to Stevenage. They dropped points to Birmingham. They lost to Leyton Orient League. They lost last night to Peterborough. And Bolton are scoring a lot of goals. And since Schumacher's come in, they've honestly been really good. I can't remember when Schumacher come in, but they bet Huddersfield. I don't think he were there for that one. They bet Northampton. Lost 1-0 to Reading, but then bet Crawley. Lost to Wrexham in, I think it was the stupid cup, actually. Bet Shrewsbury away. Bet Leyton Orient at home. Ooh, bet Wrexham at their place. And this is not like a lacking of big game and bottle and lacking the cojones to go and win a big game that's on Sky and it's a massive game in your season. Because Wrexham have obviously been doing that for years with same crop of players, realistically. So they've got the bollocks there to do it. But Bolton at minute, I'm really liking. I'm fancying them big time. To the point where I'm going to give them a 2-1 win. I know that might be really rogue and probably the reason that I lose so much money on these predictions. But I fancy Bolton away at Wrexham. And I think it could seriously stir top 2 race up. If Birmingham if Wycombe and Wrexham lose and Bolton win, I might lump on even more money to lose. The Reds at home to Lincoln. Why do I always get Barnsley wrong? Every single time I get them wrong. Every single one. I said that I'm convinced we're going to get playoffs, 100%. No way we don't get playoffs. 1 point in 5 games. Last 2 games, well, I'm saying that playoffs are gone now. Yeah, we'll probably beat Rotherham, but playoffs are definitely gone. Do you know what I mean? We're never getting in playoffs. Win 2 games in a row. And don't get me wrong, we ain't playing good. We are not playing good at all. But we're actually winning games now, which makes even less sense. The main thing that we've got is better players than almost everybody. That's the only thing that we've got going from in this league. Earlier on in the season, we were playing really good and not getting points. Now we're playing like ass, but we've got Keeler Dunn and Phillips, who are 2 of, if not best players in the league. So they'll just win you a game like that for nothing. And Lincoln, really, really dodgy. The results are absolutely all over the place, and they have been all year, which is something that Lincoln are known for, really. They'll go on spells where they don't win for ages, but then they'll put a stupid run together, especially at the end of last year. But since then, Taylor on loan, who's now gone to Huddersfield, the keeper's gone to Millwall. When your best asset at both ends at pitch, and both boxes have been massively hindered this season compared to last, there's no wonder, is there really? 1 win in 6 games, and it were 3-0 away at Mansfield. Then they lose 1-0 at home to Burton. Like, draw with Wigan, draw with Cambridge, lose to Blackpool. I'm gonna keep saying this until end of season now. Regardless, even if we win every single game until end, we can get top 2 by some miracle, which we won't. I'm not that stupid. I'm gonna keep saying until the end of this year, no way we get playoffs, because with the way it's going, we might get playoffs. So we're not getting playoffs, but we are gonna win this game, 2-1. God, I love football. It's the best. Bristol Rovers and Rotherham next. I'll tell you what. Relegation 6 points or what, this bad boy, because Rotherham are crap. There's only 3 points between these two now. Oh my goodness me. And Bristol Rovers have lost the last 2 games. Lost 2-1 at Northampton away, 2-0 to Wycombe, but they bet Burton, they got a point of Stockport, they bet Peterborough, but they were on a nice little run there, weren't they? Whereas Rotherham have now got 1 point in 6 games, and it was to Rotherham who draw basically every single week. They lost to us, and like I said, if you watch all the videos that are on here, I might sound a bit samey with like recent stuff, but Rotherham looked crap. Seriously, there was such a lack of effort. Apart from Wilkes, who's going to be up for it because he used to be at us and he's only ever up for it in like certain games that he can be asked for. And Sam Nombe looks really good, really strong, big athletic lad. But other than that, they were shit. Top to bottom, they were crap. No tactics, just vibes, but the vibes were extremely low. Bristol Rovers, I've seen us play them 3 times this season, and every single time I thought they were probably the worst side I've seen. Easily. These absolutely honk as well. Like, really, really poor. They leak shots for fun. Whether that's changed or not recently, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like they've tightened up a little bit because they could afford to let the amount of shots go on the net because their Griffiths net who's now been recalled by West Brom. Since then, they've not conceded as many shots, but they're still conceding the same, if not more, goals now. I'm struggling with this one. I really am. Rotherham are going to get maximum 1 goal. And this is against the side, Bristol Rovers, that concede every single game without fail. And more often than not, concede more than 1. But I'm only giving them 1. I might go with a draw, you know. I might go... It's a bit boring, but I'm going to go with a safe 1-1. Because I really don't know. And I feel like, even still... I feel like Rotherham would take a point here, more than Bristol Rovers would. Bristol Rovers would probably go a little bit on front foot more, because they probably think they can catch these up. Which they definitely can, don't get me wrong. But I feel like Rotherham have got enough, surely, from a defensive point of view. Because we didn't create loads from open play against them. We should have just had like 3 penalties. I do think they'll be okay enough to not concede loads of goals, Rotherham. So I'll go with 1-1. Burton and Mansfield next. I'm going to go straight off cuff here. Not think. Just go on recent performances and recent form. I'm going to say 1-0 Burton. Straight away. They've won 1-0 twice in a row, Burton. Away at Lincoln and away at Stevenage. At home, the game's a little bit different and have a lot more goals in them more often than not. And Mansfield as well, really exciting games all the time, but they are just losing 24-7. I do think they will go for the tighter defence option, Mansfield, away at these, and probably fail to do so. They're not scoring enough goals because Gregory's out. I'm just going 1-0 Burton and moving on quickly. Crawley and Cambridge, oh God, this could relegate somebody. This could be 1 foot in grave for at least one of these. Especially Cambridge. If Cambridge lose this, and then Crawley go, what, 6 points in front here? No. Thankfully, I don't think they will lose, Cambridge. Neil Harris, mate. Neil Harris is going to get them rolling. Guess what I'm about to say? I think Shrewsbury are going to stop up because of Gareth Ainsworth. Cambridge have given themselves best possible chance with Neil Harris in charge. Crawley have started picking up a little bit recently. They've only lost 1 in the last 4. and that was to Blackpool last game, who draw basically every other game. They got a point against Wigan, a point against Wycombe, which were really big, a win against Stevenage, but Cambridge, with Neil Harris. The Arts, baby. I am fancying them. Clean sheet, probably. 1-0 to away side. 1-0 Cambridge. I'll tell you, I'm looking at these fixtures. They've all got so much riding on them. Everyone. We're at that stage of season, aren't we? But the way that these are lining up, like Exeter, Northampton next. What are these at minute in table? 17th and 18th. Two sides that really need a win to propel themselves away from any danger. Exeter have been losing for ages. And Northampton have been on really good form recently, but they did lose to the boys in red last night. Not last night, Tuesday night even. Both low goal scorers that concede a lot. It's one of them ones. Especially Exeter. The amount of goals that they're conceding recently is ridiculous. And Northampton, I thought actually looked okay against us, in fairness, whereas Exeter, when I've seen us play them this season, have looked ass again. Exeter just off back of a 3-0 hammering at Charlton, where they created nothing all game into a sniff. But they did beat Cambridge week before that. And Northampton, the thing that they've got is that they're quite good against lower sides. Against other scrappy sides down at bottom, like Mansfield they've beaten recently. They bet Bristol Rovers, but they lose to Wrexham and Barnsley. They lose to teams that have got much better players than them. Exeter hadn't really got that over Northampton. Cameron McGinn was suspended against us as well. I don't know if he's back for this. He might be suspended for 2. But I feel like Northampton have got the attacking players that Exeter have not. And I will definitely give Northampton a goal for it. I do fancy Exeter for a goal as well. It's just, if I'm leaning more towards a Northampton win or a draw, I seriously don't fancy Exeter here in this. And I do think they'd probably both take a draw these, in all honesty. Just sort of like, all hands get away from it together. I'm going to go with 1-1. There's no crazy scorelines yet, but there's some coming, don't worry about it. I do think that'll be a 1 apiece. I need to get some money back, lads. I'm not sitting here going, 5-1 Exeter, just for a laugh. However, that being said, Leyton Orient versus Charlton next. Leyton Orient have lost the last 2 games to 2 big sides in Birmingham and Bolton. However, they did beat Wrexham game before that, and beating big sides has not been a problem for them all year. I don't think it will just suddenly become one now. But the pressure will be on them in this game, I do think, a little bit. Because this is a side that you've really, really not got to lose to if you want to get in there. Charlton are hot down everybody's necks in playoffs, and they're not stopping. It's 6th versus 7th. They're both on the same points. Leyton Orient have just got a better goal difference. Bolton are on the same points as them now. Huddersfield only 2 in front. They're being dragged into some sort of playoff race, which is crazy. Tough, really tough. I've not got loads and loads to go on here, really. Other than, they're both better at home than they are away. Leyton Orient are half decent away. But Charlton away from home are really quite poor. They've only won 5 times all season in 15 games away from home. So that is, it's giving me a little bit of a lean towards Leyton Orient, who in the last 5 games have won 4 of them, and they're only lost at home to Stockport, though, again in a big game. It's really hard. I'm going to go 3-2 Leyton Orient. Very, very against run at mill for Charlton, who don't concede loads, but I see big old game there. I'm seeing a lot of goals. I think both will come out all guns blazing, because it's not like down at bottom where you don't want to lose. At top, it's like you've got to sort of win if you want to get in there. A point's no good to these two, really, at this point. So we'll go with a Leyton Orient win, thinking that they're both going to go for it. Shrewsbury have lost 3 in a row, and Peterborough just won on penalties against Wrexham after being 2-0 down. They're going to be high on life. They're going to Wembley. That could hit them later in season when they've got to deal with the Wembley aspect. And like I've said, I've been saying I think Shrewsbury will stay up since Ainsworth come in. This is the chance to prove it, because they're 7 points off Peterborough now, and Peterborough side to catch. If they lose this game to make it 10 points to Peterborough, who are really crap, that ain't good. I do feel sorry for Shrewsbury that they're losing by 1 goal. Constantly, like lost 3-2 to Bolton, 1-0 to Huddersfield, 1-0 at home to Stevenage. The Stevenage one's quite poor. And Peterborough coming off back of a 1-0 away at Huddersfield and then beating Wrexham after being 2-0 down. That is going to give them some confidence. That the only thing that I've got going for Shrewsbury as well is that they didn't play midweek, and Peterborough have. Peterborough put a strong side out as well. Wrexham changed a lot of the side. Peterborough went for it a little bit. They put a lot of the better players on there. Might be tired. Shrewsbury going to make it scrappy and horrible. And I am going to go down with the ship. I am going 1-0 Shrewsbury. Oh man, I'm not like that stubborn normally. I'm lying to you. Stevenage and Huddersfield. It's tough under pressure, you know. Like seriously, they got the win against us, which is just like classic. But they've lost the last 2. They're not scoring enough goals. They looked really poor in first half against Wigan away overnight, from what I was seeing and what I heard and read. it was a bit embarrassing, apparently. Which really isn't like Duff. You'd more often than not go out and be really good first half and then try and see second one out. It went so against what Duff is, that game against Wigan. It made me question the players a little bit, to be honest with you. Dion Charles has been absolutely horseshit since he's gone there as well. I don't know what's happened to the bloke, but he was... I looked at him as like, wow, just a guaranteed like double-figure striker constantly in this league. Yes, Bolton are a good side as well, don't get me wrong, and they create a lot of chances, but the Huddersfield team, when they've come down and it's a different level in it, you'd think, or you'd imagine, especially when you plop Eyup in there and all, when he can be asked. The passes and the technique that he's got in his locker is off charts for this league, but it's just not got going and they're not scoring enough goals, and Stevenage at their place are hard to beat. Yes, they've started like dropping off a little bit, Stevenage as well, recently, which after a few like weeks ago when they bet us, and look really good, by the way, the defence is really nice. I think they were sort of like getting the hopes up for playoffs a little bit again, like they were last year. Forgot about that as well with Fat Steve. But I don't think it'll be a big scoring game. To be honest with you, I don't really fancy Huddersfield, just based on like what's been happening recently with him. But if I know Duff, we can turn him around quite quickly. But I don't think it'll be in this game. And I am going to go with Stevenage 2-1 win. Stockport and Blackpool. Blackpool have actually won a game. They've not lost in literally months and months now. Just a lot of draws. But they've actually won a game against Crawley at home. That is big. Stockport coming off back of being easily better side at Cambridge, but losing 2-0. It's quite funny, isn't it? But other than that, they've only dropped points away at Bristol Rovers in the last like 8-9 games. They've just won everything else. I don't know if Stockport have got it in them for a top 2 race, really. And I know we're only talking about 7 points here. It's not craziest thing in the world. And then at the same time, I'm saying that Bolton could still get in there when they're 11 points off. I just waffle. But honestly, you come back to the end of the season, and you're like, wow, I actually got like half this stuff right. To be honest with you, it's just a glaringly obvious draw in it. It really is. Blackpool just don't lose games, and I'm sorry, but I can't see them going to Stockport and winning. Stockport losing away at Cambridge is its own thing, but them at home, it's a different ball game altogether. Like in league, Stockport have lost to Mansfield, and that's it. Since November, and at start of November as well, that is, which were 5-0 loss to Wycombe. God, I can remember that one. Yeah, I'm going straight down middle. I'm going to go with 1 apiece and just move on. Wigan and Reading. Reading, after a really, really tough patch, have started to tighten up a little bit and be harder to beat again. They've had some really hard fixtures as well. They bet Reading, drew against Huddersfield, bet Shrewsbury at home. Rotherham's not an hard game, but they won that one, and then they've drawn with Birmingham over there. Whereas Wigan have been really inconsistent for a while, but they've not, apart from the Wigan game, which is massive, by the way, they've not won in a bit. Like, they've not won since January. But the Huddersfield game, sorry, even not Wigan, what am I about? The Huddersfield game is really big. Taking advantage of a side that's on its lows at minute is big. Reading are going to be like on a high and probably a bit of a buzz, them players, because of the ownership situation potentially being sorted out, which is big. But this isn't big goals in this, is it? Like, surely. No one's looking at this and putting both teams to score on. And if you are, change your mind now. Don't do it. I've said that and now it'll come in. But I do not see a world where both these teams score. If anything, I'm doing it. And I very rarely do this, by the way, but I'm ending with 0-0. Boring and shit. Yes. But I'm ending with 0-0. But that's that. Thank you guys for watching, boys. Make sure you like and subscribe if you did enjoy, please. There'll be FA Cup predictions tomorrow. I've also got a darts channel in case you didn't know. There's a video on there today. Please go and sub if you haven't done that already. Thank you guys for watching. Love you all. Kiss goodbye. Say that you Reg.
Say I'm a man. Yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us the tits.